everyone, in this video I'm going to teach you how to crochet this beautiful doily. You will need a cotton yarn, and I'm going to have the information for this cotton yarn that I'm using today in the description box of this video. I'm also using a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook. It's pretty small, and my pair of scissors. To begin, we're going to make a slip knot. Take your yarn, wrap it around your fingers twice. Grab what is the back yarn and pull it to the front. Now what is the back yarn you're going to take and pull off your finger. Next we're going to grab our crochet hook and we're going to chain 8. So grabbing my yarn and pulling through, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next we're going to slip stitch to our first chain to form a ring. Insert your hook into that first chain, grab your working yarn and pull it through and through again. Chain 1, and we're going to single crochet 2 into this very first chain. So to single crochet, you're going to insert your hook, grab your yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. We're going to place 2 into that first chain and 2 into the next. And we're going to do this all the way around, 2 into each chain. We should have 16 single crochet at the end of this round. Slip stitch to your first single crochet. And chain 8 to begin the next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're going to skip 1 single crochet and we're going to double crochet into the next. To double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, grab your yarn and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops. Chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip a single crochet and double crochet into the next. And we're going to be kind of making like spokes on a wheel all the way around. So you're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a single crochet and double crochet into the next. Do this all the way around. You should have 8 double crochet if you're going to count this first chain. So we're going to have 8 spokes, and when we get to the other end, I will show you which chain here we slip stitch into. To end this round, you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to slip stitch to your third chain of the original chain. 1, 2, 3, right there. And we're going to slip stitch one more time. So we're going to slip stitch into this next stitch. We have to move over a little bit to start the next round. To start the next round, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to treble crochet into this same stitch that we just slip stitched into. So to treble, we're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook into the stitch, grab our yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Next, we're going to place a treble into the next stitch. Yarn over twice, insert your hook, grab your yarn and pull up a loop. You have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through the last 2. Let's place 2 more trebles into this next stitch. So we're going to have 2 trebles into the same stitch. Okay, so if we count this first chain here, we should have 2, 4, 5 treble. Chain 2, 1, 2. Moving over to this next chain 5, we're going to skip this first chain and we're going to work into the next. We're going to have 2 trebles into this second chain. So there's 1 treble, 2 trebles, 1 treble into the next chain, and we're going to increase with 2 trebles in this next chain. So we should have just 1 more left. So we skip 1 chain, increase with 2 treble, 1 treble into the middle stitch, 2 treble into the second from last stitch. So we have 5 trebles. Chain 2, and we're going to repeat what we just did. We're going to skip this first chain, place 2 trebles into the next stitch, one treble into the next stitch, and 2 trebles into the following stitch. Continue in this fashion all the way around, placing 5 trebles separated by a chain 2, and I will see you in just a minute. At the end of that round, you're going to make sure and chain 2 and slip stitch to the top of your chain 4. Now, as you can see, my work is kind of cupping a little bit. It tends to do this. I'm not really sure why, but once you get going and just put your work down and kind of pull it out, everything stays where it's supposed to. To begin the next round, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to treble into this very first chain that we slip stitched into. Our chain does count as a treble, that chain 4. We're going to treble into the next 3 stitches. So we have 1, 2, 3, and place 2 treble into the last stitch. So if you count that chain in the beginning as a treble, we're increasing in the first stitch, treble 3, 1 into each stitch, and increasing again into the last stitch. Chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to do that into each one of these blocks all the way around. So we're going to place 2 treble into the first stitch, I have 1 and 2, one treble into each of the next 3 stitches. There's 2 for me, and 3. And increase into this last stitch with 2 trebles. Chain 2 as a spacer, and do exactly that into each one all the way around, and I will see you when we're finished. The next round we're going to be decreasing. I can show you what that looks like on this doily right here. We're right here at this gather space right here. So we're going to be taking all of our trebles and we're going to be gathering them together into one stitch. Now it's basically you're going to start the stitch and then not finish it and move on to the next stitch. And I will show you exactly how to do that with this first one here. We're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to skip 1 treble and treble into the next. We're going to pull through the first 2 loops and the second 2 loops and stop at the last 2 loops. We're going to treble 3 times. So we just did 1, 2, here we go with 2, pulling through the first 2 loops and the second 2 loops. So now we have the chain and 2 trebles. We're going to do another treble. I'm pulling through the first 2 loops and the second 2 loops. We now have 4 loops on our hook. We're going to skip this last stitch here and we're going to treble into the very last stitch. So we're going to skip this middle stitch here. Yarning over twice, insert your hook into the last stitch, grab your yarn and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the second 2 loops. Now we have 2, 4, 5 loops on our hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops to gather them all together for a decrease. And that's what it looks like. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to work into this chain 2 space. We're going to treble into the first chain, chain 2, treble into the next chain, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do our treble decrease again. So we're going to make a treble into this first stitch, yarning over and pulling through our first 2 sets, leaving our last set. We're going to skip a stitch, treble into the next 3 trebles, but not completing them. So we just do the first 2 and yarning over twice. And that's our 3rd treble in a row like that. We're going to skip our next stitch and treble into the last stitch. So now I have 2, 4, 6 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and gather all 6 loops to 1 stitch. We're going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do exactly what we did with this chain 2. We're going to treble into the first chain, chain 2, treble into the next chain, and moving right along to the next gather. I'm going to just basically do it slowly for you to see. And as you see, I'm not gathering them all at the end yet. We've got to just start them. I'm skipping that stitch, moving into my next stitch. And there's my second treble in a row. There's my third treble in a row, skipping this stitch and trebling into that last stitch. 2, 4, 6 for my last stitch here, and pulling through all 6. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do exactly what we did here, over here. Treble into the first stitch, chain 2, treble into the next stitch, chain 4. So we have a chain 4, a treble, chain 2, a treble, chain 4, a gather, and it looks like I skipped the chain 4 here. So we need a chain 4 here. So I'm going to back that up. Because we need a chain 4 on either side of our gathers. So you see? So I chained 4 and we'll do that gather again. So I got my first treble going here, skipping a stitch, second treble, third, fourth, skipping a stitch, and my last. 2, 4, 6, we still have 6 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 6. There, that looks better. All right, so we have a chain 4, a 2, a 4, a 2, a 4, a 4, a 4, a 2, a 4, a 4, a 2. Okay, one more time and I will let you do this on your own. There we have a chain 4. Moving on to our next chain 2. Got our first treble, chain 2, second treble into that second stitch, chain 4, don't forget your chain 4 like I just did. Okay, a 4, a 2, a 4. Now we gather. Treble into the first stitch, skip a stitch, treble into 3 stitches, treble into the last stitch, and skip a stitch there. Okay, and we have 2, 4, 6 loops. Yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. I'll let you continue in this fashion all the way around, and I will see you at this side. After slip stitching to the top of our decrease to finish the round, we're going to slip stitch one more time to move our work over a little bit. Next, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to treble into the next chain. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this chain 2 space we're going to place a treble into each chain separated by a chain 3. So I'm going to place my first treble, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and my next treble, chain 3 between each treble. In the chain 4 space, we're going to find our 2 middle chains and we're going to place a treble into each. and we're going to separate them with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and treble again. Continue this all the way around, and I will see you in just a minute. Remember to be placing 2 trebles into your chain 2s and 2 trebles into the middle stitches on the chain 4s. To complete this round, instead of chaining 3, you're going to chain 1 and double crochet into your 4th chain. Chain 7 to begin the next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Treble into that same stitch. We're going to skip this chain 3 space and work into our next, but we have to chain 3 first. 1, 2, 3. So I'm skipping, and we're going to place 2 treble, chain 3 to separate them into this second chain. So here we go. I'm doing my first treble, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and my second treble into that same stitch. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Skip this next chain 3 space and do exactly what we just did into the next one. So into that second chain, I am placing my first treble, chaining 3, and my second treble. We're gonna work in this fashion all the way around, making sure we have a chain 3 in between each of our trebles. Skipping those chain 3s in between. So you see we have skipping and then working into the next one, skipping and working into the next one. I will see you when this round is finished. To complete this round, just like we did the previous round, we're going to chain 1 and double crochet into the 4th chain. Now this next round is our last round, and also this pretty scalloped edge right here. And for each one of these, you can either do 7 treble or you can do 5. I did 7 for this particular doily, and I think for this purple one, I'm gonna do 5 treble. So right from that double crochet, we're gonna work 5 treble into this middle of this V right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to single crochet into the second chain of the next chain 3. So just like that. And then in the next space, we're going to place 5 treble. So go ahead and continue this all the way around, placing your 5 treble, single crochet, 5 treble, alternating all the way around, and I will see you all in just a minute. To complete your last round, slip stitch to your first stitch, grab your scissors, snip your yarn, pull your tail through and through, and sew in your end. The last thing I'm going to do with my doily is to block it, and I'm hoping to create a video for that. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like it, comment on it. I love reading your comments. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure and hit that subscribe button. Have a lovely crochet day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!